I'm bored.
Bonjour.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Jean-Pierre Alfredo, and I was born and raised in France.
Your last name is El Frencho?
Yes, you stupid American. Do I need to slap you upside the head with a baguette?
Maybe.
Now, open Steam and download Beast Quest.
If you're French, then why do you sound like me doing a bad impression of Joe from Family Guy?
Beast Quest, now!
Fine. God. You don't have to be rude.
I think we both know that's not true.
So this is Beast Quest. The Steam page says that this game is based on a book series of the same name written by Adam Blade, but I don't know how faithful it is to the books because
I can't read.
after watching a robot vandalize the wall, you get to the title screen and oh my god, that's horrifying! I haven't even started the game yet and he's just staring at me with those dead, soulless eyes! Couldn't you wait until after the title screen to haunt my nightmares till the day I die? The game starts with some exposition telling you about Furno, the fire dragon, Nanook, the snow monster, Arcta, the mountain giant, and Epos, the firebird. The 4 legendary beasts that watch over the land of Avantia, until they were placed under a spell by the bad wizard, Malvel. Then we find our hero, Tom, swinging a wooden sword around, and he finds a key and meets
the good wizard Aduro.
Aduro then tells him to go free the beasts from Malvel's curse, and Tom says, alright. It takes no convincing. Tom has no motivation to risk his life to save the beasts aside from an old man who's been smoking kitty litter showing up and saying, hey, you should go on a quest! If this happened to me, I wouldn't set out to save the world, I'd call the cops! Aduro then gives him
Armor.
That's just a tunic. That's not armor.
This is.
Then he gives Tom a sword. Look at him! He's 12! Why would you give him sharpened, tempered steel? And he's already killed a guy! That's on you, good wizard! Aduro sends Tom to find Furno in the Forest of Fear, and on the way you'll see the mini-map with treasure chests on it, but they need certain keys to open, and the keys are also marked on the mini-map. What's the point of having hidden collectibles if you're just going to show me where they are? You'll also run into your first taste of combat. Now the battle system feels like they were trying to emulate Punch-Out, with the way you dodge attacks and strike back. I like this idea. This kind of combat lets you keep traditional RPG elements while having the player directly involved in battle rather than just selecting your next move. But it's done so poorly. This is a wolf, not a punching bag. Why doesn't it dodge and counterattack? This guy has a shield. Why doesn't he block my attacks, forcing me to break his guard with magic or a charged attack? Why don't I have a stamina bar that slowly comes back and goes down every time I swing my sword or block an attack? I can cancel out of an attack and go straight into a dodge or a block. Why am I not being punished for mindlessly mashing X? Why don't the enemies come after me in the overworld? They just sit there waiting for me to come to them. Why does the shopkeeper get so excited when I buy something? And why does every character look like a creepy doll? So we reach the Forest of Fear. After wandering around, we run into Elena, who becomes our first ally, and allies don't fight with you. They only have an overpowered attack that hits every enemy real hard. Then it goes into a very long cooldown. A bit further in, we find Furno and fight him. After beating him, he runs away, and we have to track him down again. And at this point, I realize just how annoying Tom is. Every time he says something, I just want to punch him right in the mouth.
Am I supposed to be scared? Yeah, right.
Shut up.
Oh, love me some loot.
Stop talking!
No way.
I will teabag you!
I needed that.
That's it. I'm done.
I'm not leaving till you finish the game.
Lick my sack. Further into the forest, you'll have to push a block up to the wall to climb up. But why do I have to do this? It doesn't even qualify as a puzzle. I don't have to think about where I have to push it. It's guiding the block down a path. After that, you'll find Furno again, fight him again, then he runs away again. Now we have to chase him down again. When we find him for the third time, we fight him in an arena that doesn't reload properly when you lose. After defeating him for the third time, the battle is followed by a quick time event. Then with Furno freed, he drops a scale for you that you put on your shield, and doing so lets you walk through fire so that you can go through the flaming tunnel you saw earlier that leads to the icy plains. Once in the icy plains, we find a man looking for a lost child, and being the brave knight that he is, Tom offers to help. After following the path and killing the enemies that just sit there waiting for you, we find the child with an owie. Then are attacked by Nanook, the snow monster, who attacks faster and more aggressively than Furno, but every one of his attacks can be blocked, so there's little thought required in this fight. After defeating Nanook, he runs away by falling through the ice. Then the man finds the child and leaves. Now we have to find Nanook again by following the path, slaying more enemies and pushing more blocks. But here, the blocks keep sliding, so you actually have to think about which way you're pushing them. Now this is a puzzle. After that, we find Nanook again for the second battle, after which he runs away again. Then we chase him down and have our third fight, followed by another quick time event. After freeing Nanook, he gives us the bell that was hanging from his neck, and putting it on our shield lets us walk through cold air. Why exactly did we need a bell for that? Coming through the windy tunnel, we reach the northern mountains and set out to find Arcta, the mountain giant, and along the way we find a book. Aduro tells Tom to touch it to learn more about his father, Taladon the Swift, who had some connection to the beasts, and disappeared after an encounter with Malvel. Why didn't it just say that Tom's father was missing from the beginning? Aduro could have told him that freeing the beasts could help him find his father. That would have made a lot more sense than Tom immediately placing his complete trust in some old man he'd never even seen before. Adam Blade, I hope for your sake that the books are written better than the game. Further in, after fighting more pointless enemies and pushing more blocks with no thought required, we find Arcta, who's wearing a blindfold. All of his attacks can only be avoided by running to a different position. After beating him, he runs away. Then we fight yet more enemies, push yet more blocks, and fight him again. Then he runs away again. Then more of the same, we fight again to get another quick time event. Then he's free, and we get a feather. And what ability do we get from beating Arcta? At this point, I think I'd rather be shot.
No, you'll excuse me. I gotta use the bathroom. Don't do anything naughty while I'm away.
Twitter, don't fail me now. The game I'm playing for the next review sucks! Hashtag help me, I'm being held against my will by a French guy! Now we head for Stonewind Volcano to free Epos, the Firebird, but the glowing trail that leads me to my next objective glitched on me and I got lost and had to find the way to the volcano on my own. Upon reaching the next area, a kid gives Tom a gauntlet that belonged to his father and tells him that she found it in some labyrinth, and so Tom goes to find the full set of Taladon's armor, and touching it reveals that Taladon had learned how to control the beasts, and Malvel attacked him because he wanted to control them. Now, what happens after finding Taladon's armor? Well, if you guessed that we fight off hordes of pointless enemies, fight Epos 3 times with the third battle followed by yet another quick time event, then you're right! After freeing Epos, Malvel appears and starts picking on poor little Tom. Then Epos grabs Malvel and dives into the lava with him. Aduro shows up and teleports Tom out of the cave, and he's sad because Epos is dead. But he's reborn from his ashes because he's a phoenix. The end. Credits roll. That's it. I'm not joking. You don't track Malvel down to his hideout for a final showdown, he's just dead. Aduro wouldn't shut up about him, and projections of him appeared and taunted you as you went after each beast. They spent the entire game setting him up as the antagonist, and he just drops dead. You win! Yeah! Here's a lollipop! This game was pretty bad. The visuals were alright, and they had a good idea for the battle system that was executed poorly. But everything else was bad. There was only music on the title screen, the credits, and in battle, and then it was just the most boring, slow-paced battle music imaginable. The overworld was just a long, narrow, repetitive path. There was only a small handful of enemies that were reused throughout the entire game. The writing was bad, the animation was bad, the acting was bad, and the ending was just so anticlimactic. I want to think that the book series that this game was based on was good and that the game just butchered the source material, but I can't say for sure because I've never actually read them. But what I do know is, this game sucks, and it is definitely not worth the $40 I spent on it. There, I finished the game, so you gonna leave or what?
Yeah, I'm leaving. But don't you worry. I'll be back when I want you to play another bad game.
What even is my life right now?
Hashtag help me, I'm being held against my will by a French guy, huh?
Further into the forest, you'll find the... Well, I already screwed that up.
Come on, bastard. I can't read!